Now, diary entry for the 31st of December 2015, New Year's Eve. Now, I have seen my last video for 2015, so hope you all stayed safe and kept well. Meanwhile, over in Life Georgian, today was not bad, it's okay. When you start saying it's exciting, brilliant, and whatever. So that said, I've yet to go near social welfare in terms of to hand it or to at least tell them what payment do I intend going on with disability lounge or the job seekers lounge. We all well know by now which lounge I'll be going on, but they don't know which one yet. But I do and obviously I think the guy said that I'd be paid as well, so obviously I need that payment pretty quickly, considering that I have a Westwood payment due on probably coming on Tuesday instead because of the bank holiday on Monday. So moving on to that's one guy I was supposed to go to, but I probably didn't go near today because of I suppose New Year's Eve or whatever, right? So then I was like I said, so then I was between 2 months whether to go or not to go. Like I had to set the alarm, but I just didn't bother. There we go. Because he seems to be seeing only the tip of my head, like so. Like where's the rest of his mouth, Keep Georgian and poor Sammy there, alright? Anyway, moving on. However, it wasn't to be as I was enjoying my night in bed. So at one stage I was going to go out, or not go out at all, full stop. However, as you're going to later learn, that would have been soon a mistake that I would have made. But anyway, if you keep your panties on or your tights on or whatever, I then considered or went on, so like last year, this time last year, New Year's Eve last year, I didn't go out at all. My mental health had taken over me, and obviously I didn't do any self-harming at the time. I was about to, though. I do remember that when my parents' next door neighbor, Noel Hughes, he just texted me a minute past midnight saying Happy New Year to me. And only he obviously doesn't really, no one else in the world realizes like what a person goes through before. My issue, reason at the time was I think the lack of relatives at the time, like I was pining for whoever it was at the time. But then, as it happened, the next day or the day after, 2nd January, I'd gone back with half a dozen of them. So obviously, who knows the future, When I came back to this year, though, so my first protocol was to get cash because I needed cash for tonight. As I hadn't collected my supplemental welfare allowance, which is worth €186, I obviously was going to need cash soon, or quickly. Now, my mother did offer to me today, which I will later. There's probably just not much to say. I just didn't accept it because I knew I had cash in my head. I knew I would get cash anyway. So I then headed to post office with a view of withdrawing my funds and then putting the funds from the rent allowance into the bank account as per normal, right? Which, now that I think about it, would have been very advisable, but what are you gonna do? But although, yeah, whatever. But as happens, the guy who is of Italian descent or wherever he's from says because it's New Year's Eve, now this is about 5:15. They shut down the systems to process the post office bank or savings account systems, which I kind of find is bull, but that's their business. Because the woman was looking at me behind your man, the woman, the one who and I are pals is Maria. So then moving on, so obviously I had to use cash for tonight. So for that to happen, I had to use my rent allowance money. So for that to work out, on Tuesday when I do get access to my funds from the savings account, I'll be transferring that funds into the bank. So that way Westwood won't be affected, alright? Which is 1st of January being today, but obviously today being a bank holiday, I would highly doubt very much it will be processed by the banks, alright? So then that said, I went up to Scribbles and Tesco's obviously, to get Kathleen Mulligan and Prezi. Now, I made up an excuse to the folks. I don't even think my sister knows, but it doesn't matter. She gets on with me anyway. I made up an excuse to the folks that I would get a Prezi. That I told them I had a Prezi at home, here, beside puppies, Sammy, I think, had hidden or whatever. Excuse me. But unfortunately, I had left behind, you know. But obviously, that wasn't the case. Because, oh yeah, of course, I hadn't the cash at the time, you see. But today I had the cash. So I spent a couple of euros on it. And I bought her a calendar, alright? Because I don't want to say she was supposed to be an artist, the last I heard, or was a graphics artist. But anyway, I bought her a calendar for 2016 because she loves the island of Ireland, you see. That bit I do. I was going around for a few minutes, looking around, what would she like, what would she like? So I went into schools where they sell stationery stuff. So I got the stuff there. So then I dropped up my, oh, that's another thing, I was supposed to drop up my medical cert form, or whatever you call it, to social worker in stores. But of course, this guy here, Stanley, forgets his head half the time, you know. So I was then due to go to Tesco, Scribbles, my folks, then stores, and then my place here, or whatever link to. And then I go up for the night or whatever, right? But as it happens, it didn't go to plan. So what I had done was, as I forgot, I just headed home. So on the way home, I realized I left my hat behind, which is, you know, that's my own Scaffy, not him. And what the hell? Oh, the hats I had it's not a beanie, but some young. And I left it behind, and I said, dude, I can allow collect it tomorrow because we're going out for New Year's meal. I think my folks are cooking a meal in their place anyway. By the way, I can collect it in their place if needs be. Alright? But as it happens, that wasn't the case because why? I left the bag behind, and the bag had my cash in it. I said, now, Lord, I do need the cash big time. Because if I had the cash left in my pocket, yeah, okay, I'd be okay. But as I cash from the, well, from my aunt, no, what is she? My cousin's Prezi? Yeah, I left the cash in the bag. So I said, no, I need the cash. So as happens, Mum got ahead of me and she rang me to say, George, you left your bag behind. And so I said, don't worry, I'm on my way up. So I went back up, got the cash and the bag, sorry, and the hat. So got two birds with one stone. So then I got my bag, and just as my friends at my friend's Emil Street, which is Grace Park Gardens, I think, or something like that, I heard a bottle fall of a bottle or something, and the car beeped at me. So I ignored him because I thought he was being pissing me off because I have no lights, you see, or whatever. But as that happens, for some strange reason, I was about a quarter. I think I turned the corner just about, and I looked behind the bike. Lo and behold, there was nothing there. My aunt had given me a box of chocolates, which are well in my system right now, by the way, and probably Wings End or whatever. And apparently, I was thinking, no, I'm not. That's something me eye. And what I'm trying to say is that she gave me a box of chocolates, and I put them on the back of the bike. And the ball of the bottle was actually my box of chocolates. So that fell on the ground, and I ignored it, and the car beeped at me, so I had to crawl all the way back up again, collect the box of chocolates, and come back to my place. So I came back, recorded a few films, looked at B the movie and Behind the Candelabra to see what all the fuss was about. As it happens, fairly emotional film to look at. Obviously very flamboyant, you know, but hey, that's what the whole film is about. It's about this particular guy named Liberace in California, I think? Whatever, somewhere in the US and somewhere. But your man Michael Douglas, he's a fantastic accent. I love his accent. I wouldn't mind your man Matt Damon. Jeez, he's one hot stud muffin. I wouldn't be running after him that way at all one bit, but jeez. Now this is going back, I think last year, well now we can say 2 years ago, because we're in 2016 now. So then that said, then I headed on to my night out. Firstly I headed out to shower, and then I headed on. I headed to Panty Bar, as I said to my folks previously, it's my local club. Sitting only half hour up the road, but still. I danced the night away, got my drinks. I first got a vodka and coke. It's a horrible piece of crap if you don't mind me saying so. Actually thought it was way out. what's the word I'm looking for? Gun off, sorry, is the word I'm looking for. I thought the bus got gone off, so I don't know what happened. Horrible piece of crap. Every time I went to taste it, I felt like puking it up, getting rid of it. But obviously, I wanted to get a few certain memories to get out of me brain. Not to do work, but anyway, I'll explain that as the video goes on. So then, my next drink was a double vodka and coke. That was no, sorry, I'm wrong. I'll try again. Mojito. Smirnoff Mojito. So I got that. That was absolutely gorgeous. It was very sweety, lovely. I enjoyed that. My third drink was, what was it? Oh, the double vodka and coke. That was lovely now. And I wouldn't mind, he used the same vodka which I assume was Smirnoff at the time. But why the very first drink I had was horrible. Like, I just wanted to get rid of it and say, hey, look, but considering the place was bouncing, I said, I'm not going to start going running up and down, you know? Considering that's what I did half the night, but anyway. So then I said, okay, so I drank the double Viking Coke, took a while. Well, come to thinking now, it didn't take that long, but anyway. So then my next drink, and probably my final drink, because they finished at half one, which was a reasonable hour, I enjoyed it, was the Sex on the Beach. Now, I didn't know what's the word in the cocktails they had, because they usually have written up on the board, but me without glasses, and then again, I just took a chance to see what cocktails do they have, and I just took a chance the name of it. Like I could have asked Tequila Sunrise or whatever, but I just took the one that majority gays have, and it's by bar magnifique. It was gorgeous. So then throughout the night, as the place is divided up into two, it's a basement and a ground floor, right? And I was so at one end, if you go downstairs, you go to the toilets, and then your basement where people can sit down and all that. Then you go up, you pass the toilets, and then you go up and you actually get to the stage. It's very cleverly made, I must say. And I won't mind. I hardly, when I first came out, I wasn't really mad into what do you call it, panty bar at all. I said to people, it just didn't connect with me and this guy, me and George, or panty bar, not the one panty bar, and myself don't get on. At the time, I say, now when I came out. I'll say these as I do connect because I have been to a few times now. But anyway, so I went downstairs, came up, and came up to the other end of the steps, and I stayed at the stage. Beautiful, magnifique. And then did the same, went back downstairs, and up and all that. And I said I'd do the, what's the word, not self harm, do the one, the pissing is what I'm looking for at the end. Because I was, you see, my objective for the night was to get rid of all the memories of what my dad said on the 26th, which I'm not going to go over. Tuesday, sorry. And I just wanted to do self-harm. That's all that was on my mind the whole night. Self-harm, thoughts, banging my head against the wall. Well, not the wall per se, but posts in, they call that thing, on the street, you know. But as it happens, that didn't turn out to be, but I still did self-harming, or no doubt about that, in the toilet. Well, no, it wasn't the toilets I did it. It wasn't the toilets because there were people around. Oh, I'll tell you where. Just before I got a selfie of Mr. I will give you that in a moment. I made sure there's no one looking at me, and I just a quick selfie of my, what's that thing, arm, which I'm not going to, there's not much to show. I don't think there. Maybe I spoke to some, but whatever. My point is, at the end of the day, I learned from some people, which I'm not going to bother saying who, that if you self-harm while under the influence, that you tend not to be prone to pain as much as if you're not under the influence. I mean alcohol, obviously. But as happens, it did work to a certain degree. Like I was biting as if it were as back in Romania, like. But anyway, moving on though, let's have a look see. Considering it was a fantastic night, to be honest with you. Then I got my drink down. Okay, that's up on which I was getting without any looking, which is very true. Over the highlight of the night was a few people, right? One person I never suspected I'd seen the Panty Bar, let alone any other gay bar in the city, let alone the country, was what's her name? She's transgender, but it's a name for her, Tiffany. She's not a drag queen, that's a fact, but she's Tiffany. She owns or runs or whatever you call it, the outhouse. Now, the outhouse in general is my second home, but I Tiffany and myself are not palsy. We don't get on. I don't know why. We just don't. Maybe it's to do with that. It wasn't last year, the year before at Pride. She told me, "You're not allowed to go and get on a bus yet." Every time Dick and Harry were getting on the bus, the Pride bus, I should say. Anyway, that's a different ball game altogether. So then, the second person I ran into was Vincent McCool. Now he's a gay vegetarian. I never met him in person, alright, which is kind of weird. I actually came across him on Foursquare. Excuse me, on Foursquare, which I I'd imagine the majority know what Foursquare is. It is now called Swarm. You see, Foursquare a few years ago, or last year, the year before, divided the application up. So Foursquare itself is now used for not check-ins, for reviews, I think, something like that. And Swarm is a separate app for to do checking in with your mates, alright? And that's where I met him initially. And then I added him on Facebook, and then I think last year at my birthday, no, the previous year in 2014, I was doing my, not whoring, there's a terminal drinking, you could call it, right? In front lounge. And I was there, and I said, I could swear that's your man. And as it happened, he was your man, because I messaged him afterwards. And he said, well, why didn't you come over and chat to me, or say hello, or whatever? I said, oh, very shy, whatever. But my point is that I actually saw this guy tonight, and this time I had the courage to say, hello. So we chatted for a bit. Now, obviously, when the music was, everything has finished at around half one, so we finished everything. So I finished my drinks at the time, and we finished up, etc., etc. So then after that, the highlight of the evening was Panty Bliss. Now, you all know who Panty Bliss is, aka Rory O'Neill, who came from a countryside in County Mayo called Ballyrobe. I don't know my country towns too well, or villages too well, in terms of pronunciation, let alone exact location. All I know is from County Mayo. I think the main town he's from is Ballina, but he himself, I think he's born in Ballyrobe and something like that. And y'all know who the lad is, or he's a drag queen, and his alternative name, or aka, is actually Panty Bliss. He's obviously an LGBT rights activist, because he himself is gay, and he became prominent when on the Saturday Night Show he accused people of being homophobic, like, oh, whatever the hell their name is. What's their names? Not Irony. That's Holy Crowder. God damn, I forgot their names, would you believe it? No, it's on me mind, it's on me lips. Not Iron. The hell is that name? I'll get it eventually, whenever. But that the Holy Crowder, they're from Catholics, and they don't believe in all this gay crap and everything. Oh, whatever the hell their name is. Literally, it's on me mind of my mouth. The tip of my tongue. Jeez, that's really unreal. If you can get the name, but my point is, he challenged these people up being homophobes, right? And unfortunately, RTE, who's the national broadcaster of Ireland, paid him €85,000 to shut them up in terms of legal costs. Now, obviously, majority of LGBT people came out hell against that, because that was basically RTE saying, look, we don't want any arguments. This crowd are right, the crowd is shy. The hell is the name? Begins with the I, something else. House. Iron, Iron. I better Google, it's gonna kill me. It says Iron House. Get away. Iron. It's not Iron. Iona, thank you. I knew it. And this time Google didn't help me in this because it's too slow. It's the Iona Institute. RTR Panty Bliss accused them of being a homophobe. So then, to make it to fast forward, we then and we got t-shirts printed where what is feck off out of main life, something like that, or in Team Pant. That's the t-shirt I have. What I have somewhere, it's somewhere in there behind, right? And then fast forward, he gave a beautiful speech. How do I express myself? What do I like? There's one very, and I quote him. How it wasn't. I think express is the word he used quite a lot. he was obviously dressed up as a AKA, and he's on Abbey Street somewhere, and somebody throws out a bottle of something, calls him the fag, okay? And I quote him, "What gave the gay away?" And he continued on and on and on about that, and he got a standing ovation, etc. There's something behind you. Life done that to me, but anyway. So then moving on though, he obviously got the yes equality referendum. We were the first country in the world, not Europe or anything, in the world to pass same-sex marriage by popular vote. So to make a long story short, my point is I met my inspiration of the night. Of the night, how are you? Of the equality movement, okay? Panty Bliss or aka Rory O'Neill. And I was delighted. It's all on my Facebook, so you know where to go. www.facebook.com/G Stanescu STANESCU 84. That's me, year of birth. So G Stanescu 84. And you find all my pics, etc. etc. And go to the album. Well, actually go to the cover page. That's the one, because I put them up as my cover page, because a cover photo, whatever you call it, because it is that unreal. And I wouldn't mind. My folks actually did say, like we were talking about Panty Bliss before I went. I just, as I said, everyone, I went up to them for a few minutes just to, to hand in the present for young one, Catherine Mulligan. Her birthday's on. Do your math, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but Monday or Tuesday, And she'll obviously will be back in England by now. But my point is that I met my true inspiration of the whole thing, because she actually helped me inspiration, obviously, of coming out, accepting yourself, etc., etc. So let's see, have I done my yada yada yada? I think I have. Oh lordy lordy lord. Now this is one thing that really bothered me. Now obviously the whole night had finished in terms of the panty bar itself. Oh, my folks were saying to me, what has panty bar to do with Panty Bliss, the woman or the person themselves, alright? And as far as I'm aware of, he actually owns Panty Bar in question. Now how he owns it, what his mortgage, what it is, what it's that, I'm not a business guy. That's my understanding, that he actually owns the bar in question. When one thing that bothered me was, normally if you go to New York City, it's described as the city that never sleeps. So if you ever want to get yourself harm in or whatever on the public streets, like say bang your head or whatever, in New York City, that chance that's ever gonna happen unless you do it in your private place in your home or whatever, right? Now with me, tonight, sorry, after I got out of the panty bar, like when I was finished for the night, I still wanted to continue on my self harm, but unfortunately because this Dublin has actually turned like, well maybe it's because of the night that it was, but generally everywhere there's a bit of traffic, okay, not small, not enough for us, say New York, but still plenty of people about, and they just would say something or do something or whatever, right? And that was my whole time or the whole night. So as you can gather, I had 3 people in my neighborhood, if you call it, but there's one particular guy who was flirting with me with my little bile. See, little bile. Some people could take that sexually, but I just see this because I'm the rainbow in the family. I find it quite a lot in the family tree, in the gay community, anywhere, right? And then, what's my? Oh my God, no! Oh, nothing big. I thought a string came out. Oh, no, what am I saying? Wait, there's some guy. He's a splitting image of an English journalist who's gay, but just can't. He's a blondie, skinny blondie man. He's a splitting image of. And I saw this particular guy in the panty bar tonight, and I just can't put my head to it. But anyway, but overall, fantastic night, minus the self-harm aspects, but fantastic night, very well done. I'll say I was tipsy, who wasn't after all those drinks? But about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I started to get grand again. So, but I did get myself harm done, I think, before I came home. Oh no, yeah, it was, sorry, this Panty bar. Before I met Panty herself, or himself, whatever, right? That's when I came into him, alright? So listen, I'm gonna leave you and look at yourselves. Once more, I hope you have a happy and healthy new year. And may all your dreams and wishes come true. From lots of love from Sammy. Patch is somewhere, I just don't know where, but he's somewhere. Sammy, Patch. Kathleen is somewhere. My facing, no, what's that thing there? No, that's his paw. Oh, he's somewhere. Kathleen is somewhere in there, I don't know where. Basically, from all the puppies and inflatables, and you can. Oh no. Can we exit? Yes, we can. I just want to show you. Now, there's one of the Santis, Snorri, and a big mother Stana, who's his father. So lots of love from all in place. And poor old, I don't think you can see him from this angle. Champy, he's in the toilet there. Not doing any business, just sitting out. That's all he's doing. So listen, look out, girls. And like I said, have a happy, healthy, and New Year. Oh, one last thing. Happy birthday to the Republic of Ireland. He's 100 years old, and your official date of birth is in April, sometime, whatever. Because I'm referring to the Easter 1916 rising, when the official birth of Republic of Ireland was born. So look at ourselves, and I'll see you all next day. Alright? So,